So they lived to Playa, to the west of Havana. That's why in Havana we can say that the development of the city was from the east to the west. So we can follow a line in the development of the city, always to the west, and was always determined by these wealthy families that were moving, so looking for a better area to live. Okay? And right now we are driving along Linea Street. Linea is a line in English, and it was because the railroad that used to be here in the 20s. So we don't have, railway in Cuba. I mean, not in the city. We are still using trains in Cuba, but from Havana to other provinces, not in the city. This, just to go to other provinces. For example, to go from here to Santiago, you can take a train, but it's going to be, a really long ride, and we are still using the Russian trains that are not comfortable at all, and that are really old. That's why a ride from here, from Havana to Santiago de Cuba in the eastern, could take like 24 hours or at least 22 hours. It's really cheap. It's like, we can pay just 5 or 10 Cuban pesos to go from here, from Havana to Santiago, but it's going to be 5 or 10 depending on the province you. Yeah, a quarter of the dollar. Yeah, it's really cheap, but it's going to take many hours. No, as a foreign you pay different. As a foreign, if you want to take the train, you pay different. You pay in cups. Yeah, it's not going to be that expensive. It's just cheap for you too, but it's not good. So people, try to avoid taking train to other provinces. And as I told you, we are still using the Russian trains from the 70s and 80s. We have 1 or 2 Chinese trains that are new. I mean, new for us, not for them. But, just 1 or 2. The others are old trains. And we are entering to Miramar. As I told you, the wealthy families, they moved to here, to this area. And they built here the big houses too, that you can see, both sides of the street. And after the triumph of the revolution, when most of the families left Cuba because they didn't want to live in Cuba with socialism, so they didn't want to live here anymore, so they just left. Most of them went to the States, and most of the houses here in this area remain empty. And the government began to use the houses with other functions. Like, for example, in the corner we already passed, one of the houses is a kindergarten. So the big house is used as a kindergarten today. And some of them were used as dormitory of the students. And this was the chosen area to be, the diplomatic neighborhood of Havana. So the houses, the big houses, are used as embassies or residences of the, diplomats in Cuba. That's the function of most of houses in Miramar nowadays. In Miramar, we use the numbering system like in the States. For example, the streets parallel to the coast, they use odd numbers, and the others, the crossing ones, even numbers. So right now we are driving along the 7th Avenue. So the 5th is to your right.